Hey there, friends. Ever thought about how much we communicate every single day? It's a lot. From a quick good morning to a heartfelt conversation, we're constantly sharing and receiving information. Now, here's the thing. We're all already communicators. Yep, you heard that right. Every text, every email, every smile, that's communication in action. But here's the real magic trick. Turning everyday communication into communication. That's where the real fun begins. Because let's be honest, sometimes our messages get lost in translation. Misunderstandings happen, feelings get hurt. Think of effective communication like a superpower. It's about expressing yourself clearly and listening with your whole heart. It's about building strong relationships, both personally and professionally. And guess what? This superpower is within everyone's reach. Here's a little secret. Communication isn't just about the words we say, it's about so much more. It's about our body language, our tone of voice, even our facial expressions. Remember that time you tried to tell a white lie with a straight face? Yeah, your eyebrows probably gave you away. Think about it. A warm smile can instantly brighten someone's day. A gentle touch can convey more empathy than words ever could. And let's not forget the power of a good old-fashioned belly laugh. It's contagious, right? Effective communication is about creating genuine connections. It's about understanding and being understood. And sometimes, it's about reading between the lines and picking up on those subtle cues that speak volumes. Now, let's talk about feedback. I know, the word feedback can sometimes make us want to run for the hills. But trust me on this one. Feedback is like a magic mirror. It helps us see ourselves more clearly, both the good and the not so good. Think of it this way. Feedback is a gift. It's a chance to learn and grow, to become the best versions of ourselves. It's about receiving constructive criticism with an open heart and using it as fuel for positive change. But here's the catch, feedback isn't just about receiving, it's also about giving. It's about sharing our thoughts and feelings in a way that's honest, respectful, and helpful. Because when we give and receive feedback effectively, we create a powerful cycle of growth and understanding. Remember those action movies where the hero always has a trusty sidekick? You know, the one who always has their back offering support and guidance? Well, feedback is kind of like that. It's the Robin to your Batman, the Chewbacca to your Han Solo. It's here to help you navigate the ups and downs of communication, leading you towards success. But unlike a movie sidekick, feedback isn't always about high fives and witty comebacks. Sometimes it's about hearing the hard truths, those little nudges that push us out of our comfort zones and help us grow. Remember, even superheroes need a little guidance now and then. Think about it. How can we possibly improve if we don't know what we're doing well and what needs a little tweaking? That's where feedback steps in, shining a light on our blind spots and helping us become better communicators, one conversation at a time. Now, let's talk about how to give feedback like a pro. One of my favorite tricks? Using I statements. It's like magic, I tell you. Instead of pointing fingers and making others feel defensive, I statements help us express our thoughts and feelings in a way that's clear, honest, and respectful. Let's say your roommate keeps borrowing your favorite sweater without asking. Instead of saying, "You always take my stuff without asking," try this. "I feel frustrated when I can't find my favorite sweater because it wasn't where I left it." See the difference? By starting with I, we shift the focus from blame to understanding. We're not attacking the other person, we're simply expressing how their actions make us feel. It's like saying, "Hey, this is how it landed for me," and that opens the door for a much more productive conversation. You know how they say timing is everything? Well, it's especially true when it comes to giving feedback. Imagine this. You just aced a presentation at work, you're feeling like a rock star, and then bam! Your boss pulls you aside to critique your outfit choice. Not cool, right? Just like we wouldn't bake cookies in a cold oven, we don't want to deliver feedback when the timing is off. It's about finding the right moment, a time when the other person is open to hearing what we have to say. Maybe it's scheduling a quick check-in or grabbing coffee after work. Remember, feedback is best served fresh, not reheated, and definitely not when someone's feeling vulnerable. So let's choose our moments wisely and create a space where feedback can be received with an open heart and a clear mind. All right, folks, we've talked about giving feedback, but let's flip the script for a sec. Receiving feedback, that's where the real growth happens. But I know, it can be tough. It's like opening a present. You hope it's something you love, but there's always that little voice whispering, what if it's socks? Here's the thing, feedback is never about tearing us down. It's about helping us become even more awesome. So let's try to silence that inner critic, the one that wants to argue and defend. Remember, the messenger isn't the enemy. They're simply offering a different perspective, a chance for us to see ourselves through a new lens. Think of it like this. Every piece of feedback, whether it's positive or constructive, is a little nugget of wisdom. It's an opportunity to learn and grow, to refine our skills, and become the best versions of ourselves. Section 2. Active listening. It's more than just hearing. Now, when it comes to receiving feedback, active listening is our secret weapon. It's like the difference between simply hearing a song and really feeling the music move your soul. Active listening means being fully present, engaged, and ready to absorb every word. It's about putting away our phones, silencing our inner chatter, and giving the speaker our undivided attention. It's about making eye contact, nodding along, and showing them that we're truly invested in what they have to say. But active listening goes beyond just body language. It's also about asking clarifying questions like, can you give me an example of that? Or, what do you think I could do differently next time? These questions show that we're not just passively listening, we're actively trying to understand and learn from the feedback. Section 3. Feedback is a two-way street. Remember that whole communication is a two-way street thing? Well, it applies to feedback too. It's not just about listening politely and nodding our heads like bobbleheads. It's about engaging in a genuine dialogue, asking questions, and sharing our own perspectives. Think of it like a tennis match. Feedback goes back and forth, with each person volleying their thoughts and ideas. It's about creating a safe and open space where everyone feels heard and respected. And hey, it's okay to respectfully disagree with the feedback we receive. We're all human, we all have different perspectives, and sometimes we might not see eye to eye. But even when we disagree, we can still do it with kindness, understanding, and a willingness to find common ground. What's your flavor? Let's get real for a minute. Receiving feedback can feel like swallowing cough syrup, necessary, but not our favorite flavor. We all have invisible filters that color how we perceive feedback. One person might see feedback as a challenge. Another might spiral into self-doubt. Our filters are shaped by past experiences and insecurities. The key is to become aware of our filters. Once we understand them, we can manage them effectively. Section 2. Defensiveness. The feedback buzzkill. You know that feeling when you're having a great hair day and then someone says, have you tried a new shampoo? Your hair looks a little frizzy today. Ouch, right? It's like all the good vibes just evaporated into thin air. That, my friends, is defensiveness, and it's the ultimate feedback buzzkill. When we feel attacked or criticized, our natural instinct is to defend ourselves, to build walls and protect our egos. But here's the thing, defensiveness blocks us from truly hearing and understanding the feedback. It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who's wearing noise-canceling headphones. The message just isn't getting through. So how do we tame the defensiveness monster? First step, take a deep breath. Remember, feedback is not a personal attack, unless it is, in which case run. It's simply someone else's perspective, and their perspective might just offer valuable insights that we hadn't considered before. Section 3. Turning feedback fumbles into touchdowns. Okay, picture this. You're on a football field, the clock is ticking down, and you just fumbled the ball. Not ideal, right? But here's the thing. A fumble doesn't have to mean game over. In the game of feedback, just like in football, it's all about how we recover. Let's say we receive some tough feedback. Maybe we missed a deadline or our performance review wasn't exactly glowing. It's easy to get discouraged, to let those negative thoughts spiral. But here's where we have a choice. We can either wallow in self-pity, or we can use that feedback as fuel to level up our game. Remember, feedback is not about dwelling on our mistakes. It's about identifying areas where we can improve. So let's put on our game faces, lace up our sneakers, and ask ourselves, what did we learn from this experience? How can we use this feedback to become even stronger, smarter, and more awesome? Conflict, it's not always a bad thing. Okay, Friends, let's talk about conflict. It's like that awkward guest who shows up at your party uninvited. Nobody wants to deal with conflict, right? But here's the thing. Conflict is a natural part of life. It's what happens when different perspectives collide. Conflict isn't always a bad thing. When handled with care, conflict can be a catalyst for growth and positive change. Assertive communication is our secret weapon. It's about expressing our needs and boundaries clearly and respectfully, without bulldozing over others or shrinking into the background. Imagine you're at a restaurant and your order arrives wrong. You calmly explain the situation, request a correction, and do it all with a smile and a respectful tone. Assertiveness is about finding your voice and speaking your truth. One of the biggest secrets to resolving conflict effectively, it's all about finding common ground. It's like building a bridge across a river instead of just standing on opposite banks. When we focus on shared values, it creates a foundation for understanding. Even in heated disagreements, there's usually common ground. Identifying shared interests is like finding a key to resolution. It's about finding a solution that works for everyone involved. Remember how we talked about effective communication being like a superpower? Well, mastering feedback is like unlocking a whole new level of awesome in your communication arsenal. It's like finding the secret cheat code to level up your relationships, your career, and even your own personal growth journey. Think about it. When you're open to receiving feedback, you're essentially saying, "Hey world, I'm ready to learn and grow. Hit me with your best shot." That kind of openness is like a magnet for opportunity. It attracts mentors, opens doors to new experiences, and helps you develop a growth mindset that's unstoppable. And let's not forget about the giving feedback side of things. When you can deliver feedback with clarity, kindness, and a genuine desire to help others, you become a sought-after leader, a trusted friend, and someone who empowers others to shine their brightest. Now let's talk about conflict resolution. This superpower is like having a magical shield that protects your relationships from those pesky misunderstandings and hurt feelings that can pop up from time to time. It's about transforming those potentially explosive moments into opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. Think about it. When you have the skills to navigate conflict effectively, you're not afraid to address those tough topics, those little elephants in the room that can cast a shadow over even the strongest relationships. You become a master at finding common ground, building bridges of understanding, and creating win-win solutions that leave everyone feeling heard and respected. And the best part? Resolving conflicts effectively actually strengthens your relationships in the long run. It's like going to the gym for your emotional intelligence. The more you practice, the stronger and more resilient your relationships become. So, my friends, are you ready to unlock your full communication potential? It's a journey, not a destination. Just like learning a new dance or mastering a musical instrument, becoming an effective communicator takes practice, patience, and a healthy dose of self-compassion. Remember, it's okay to stumble along the way. We're all human, we all make mistakes, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is that we keep showing up, keep learning, and keep striving to become the best communicators we can be. Think of it this way. Every conversation, every interaction is an opportunity to practice our skills, to try new techniques, and to learn from our experiences. So let's embrace the journey, my friends, and let's have some fun along the way. Remember, effective communication isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, being kind, and being willing to listen with an open heart. It's about building bridges instead of walls, finding common ground instead of focusing on differences, and approaching every interaction as an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to grow. So go out there, my friends, and communicate your hearts out. Share your stories, express your feelings, and listen with your whole being. Embrace those awkward silences, laugh at those communication mishaps, and celebrate every single moment of connection, big or small. Because when we communicate with authenticity, empathy, and a little bit of humor, we create a ripple effect of understanding and connection that spreads far and wide. And who knows, we might just change the world, one conversation at a time. Now go on, get out there, and shine your light. The world needs your voice.